Hello everybody, thank you for tuning into Veggie Trends. My name is Mackenzie and as always, I'm trying to make eating your vegetables a little less rough. This week on my plant food highlight of the week, I'm bringing you the tomato. I wanted to start out with this little guy because it's probably one of the most versatile vegetables that we use in our dishes. So this is a standard tomato that you would find at your local grocery store. This is what I grew up with. I was never a fan of tomatoes growing up. They were just a nuisance. I had to pull off my cheeseburger or pick out of my salad so I didn't officially have to eat it. But several years back, I started my own gardening and I didn't even realize how many varieties of tomatoes there are. There's literally got to be hundreds of varieties of tomatoes. And so I started trying some different varieties and found out how flavorful and dynamic this little vegetable really is. And if you want to know, the tomato is not actually really a vegetable, it's a fruit. A lot of the vegetables we call vegetables are scientifically fruits. So what is the difference? A vegetable is any part of the plant, so yes, this could be considered a vegetable. The fruit, though, is what happens after the plant flowers and has been fertilized. The fruit is what is produced, and so these are technically a fruit. For culinary purposes, we call tomatoes vegetables, so we're going to go ahead and go with that. So let's start by talking about the tomato. We're going to set this guy aside and we're going to bring out our handy dandy little scale here. A 1 cup serving of tomato is going to weigh about 150 grams. I selected a nice little heirloom beauty right here that weighs just about exactly 150 grams, so I could show you what a serving size of tomato looks like. Here's what I want you to think about. This tomato right here has 25 calories. You could eat 4 of these before you even hit 100 calories in your diet. It's why when I'm talking about vegetables, I really encourage people not to focus on calorie count, because you would have to eat so much vegetable matter to get a lot of calories in your body that it's really not something you have to think about all that much. So in addition to the calorie count in this, the tomato's 95% water, so you're getting a lot of liquids into your body when you eat tomatoes. It's going to be, the other 5% is going to be about 3.9% carbohydrates, 0.9% protein, and 0.2% fat. So this really isn't going to be much for you in the way of fats or proteins. It's mostly going to be water and sugars for you. Tomatoes are extremely high in vitamin C. You're going to get a lot of your vitamin C when you eat tomatoes. They also are high in lycopene. Lycopene has been shown in a lot of studies to help lower your risk for heart disease, strokes, heart attacks. It's going to help lower your bad cholesterol. Tomatoes will also protect your body against some cancers, prostate, breast, stomach cancers, lung cancer. So it has some great properties. The list goes on and on. I'm so big on eating vegetables for all of their health promoting properties. So this one is an heirloom variety here. I want to talk about some of the other varieties you might find. These guys here are some of my favorites. These are just smaller cherry tomatoes and grape tomatoes. These little guys are a favorite at our house. These are kumatos. They're just a dark-skinned, like a chocolate-colored tomato. They're extremely sweet. The flavor is phenomenal on these guys. Look for these the next time you're in the grocery store, see if you can find them. These little yellow ones are also very sweet. Get your little cherry tomatoes here. Some of my favorites. These are the ones that I really started to like when I was first gardening, and I thought, wow, if tomatoes are that good, count me in. I'm going to eat all my props here. Alright, so these guys, these big guys, are heirloom tomatoes. Just look at the different varieties of colors. We have a green one here. Again, this one's one of the dark, like purple skinned. We have a red one here, a yellow one here. I haven't opened these guys up, but maybe we could cut into them. Let's cut this big guy. My dad's a huge fan of eating these. Just look at the amount of meat in that. I mean, you could eat this whole tomato and not even get 100 calories and really enjoy it. Oh, it smells so good. Let's see what else we have over here. We have Roma tomatoes. These are the tomatoes you would most likely find on pizzas or in sauces. They're not my favorite as far as flavor, but they are a great variety to use if you're making a sauce, along with, say, these ones. This is a larger variety of the Kamado. This is what we use at my house whenever we're making sandwiches with tomatoes. We like to do these with hummus spread on a piece of bread and these sliced on top, or maybe avocado, these little Kamado tomatoes, and then balsamic vinegar. It's a great snack idea. You know, a lot of times at the grocery store you're going to get tomatoes that are on the vine. You know, you may think they say vine ripened, maybe trying to say those are healthier for you. A lot of times at the grocery store, the reason your tomatoes aren't very flavorful is because they were ripened after they were actually picked from the plant. So there's a gas that the tomatoes give off as they ripen. So they're picked early when they're still green, and then that gas is introduced before they're sent to the grocery store to give them that red, ripe color. But because they don't ripen on the vine, they tend to be somewhat less flavorful than the varieties that were actually ripened on the vine. So if you have a garden in your area, or you have time to garden at your own house, I highly recommend during the times of year that they're available that you get locally grown tomatoes, because you're going to get a lot more flavor and it looks like a lot more variety. So check it out. One of the great things about tomatoes is how versatile they are. We use tomatoes in so many different dishes. I personally love salsa. Tomatoes make up the base of that. You can use them in your pasta sauces, on your pizza, eat them raw. I love them on a sandwich. You know, you can bring them as a snack. They're perfectly packaged to be able to eat when you're on the go. Throw in a few nuts and you've got a great snack. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed learning more about the tomato, and I hope that the next time you're in the grocery store, you'll take a look around and see if you can find some of the great varieties of tomatoes that we see here, and that you'll give them a try. Really try to expand your vegetable knowledge from what you were used to growing up. I guarantee that you will learn to love or really enjoy these more than your standard tomato. So thank you for joining me today here on VegiTrends. Again, my name is Mackenzie, and I'm working ever so hard to make eating your vegetables a little less painful. I hope if you enjoyed today's video, you'll subscribe to my channel or like this video. I would love to see you back here for more videos. We have more recipes to come, more information about vegetables, more hints and tips. Anyway, until next time, thank you.